articulate what conditions or combination of conditions could be set to secure bond was not something that we were prepared to argue this afternoon. We wanted more time, and so that was not discussed today. But it's likely to be something that would be addressed at a later date to the district court in Los Angeles that the case is assigned to. Yes. Hold on, let me address that real quick. There were two dates set. One was a trial date. The first was a status date, okay? Given the nature of this case, given what I anticipate to be voluminous evidence, I doubt that we are going to be going to trial in March. Typically, it would take time to process, review, and prepare a defense in this particular case, and so we put that over to the status hearing so that we could probably pick a new trial date.
What are your early impressions of what he's accused of?
I'm sorry?
What are your early impressions of what he's accused of?
Well, you could read the indictments the indictments speak for themselves. So.
Wedding is facing multiple accusations that he was orchestrating murders in Ontario and in Colombia. How do you respond to those allegations?
Well, you heard him say not guilty, right? That's how I would respond. That's something that you could direct your questions to the Department of Justice and the U.S. Marshals.
Can you go into the years you had with his family? You mentioned you were afraid for his family, or he was afraid for his family.
I did not say I was afraid for his family. What I said is that his family is entitled to privacy, as is anyone who's going to act as a surety for the bond. And so what I advised the court was I anticipate, in terms of a surety, if we have a surety to post to have him released on bond, that information, their personal information, would be filed under seal. So in terms of that, I did not say what you said, okay?
Apprehension, you said to ask the government, but you've challenged the narrative that they have given them. Just can you give us anything more about how he was actually brought in and if there was any negotiation beforehand? Again,
I mean, an apprehension is an apprehension, right? So, no, in terms of any details, the head of the FBI, I believe, already had a press conference. You've heard his characterizations in terms of the apprehension, and so I'm not in a position to provide any more information with regard to that, but I can tell you and confirm that he was arrested, he was apprehended, he did not surrender.
I said that your client was hiding out in Mexico for over 10 years. What's your response to that? Because innocent driver to be hiding?
Well, I don't know that's the case. Hiding out and living somewhere are two different things, and so I would characterize it as living. The government could characterize it their way, and hence, why we have these judicial proceedings to determine ultimately how things turn out and whose interpretation of the facts is correct, and whether the government can prove their case and each and every element of the charges that they've filed against Mr. Wedding with proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
There are outstanding charges in Canada dating back from 2015.
I'm not going to take any questions about anything in Canada because I'm not in a position to answer those. I'm not a Canadian lawyer. Any other questions?
Sorry, Mme. Why
Sure.
did you wait instead of arguing for?
Well, as I explained, I mean, imagine the whirlwind that he's experienced since his apprehension. It takes time to put the sureties in place, to have the information for the court, to establish that there is a condition or combination of conditions that could secure his release. So we were not in a position today to do that, and we anticipate addressing that at a later date before the district court.
Do you know why it was moved here today to Orange County?
I do, actually. It's a good question. It was originally scheduled for L.A., but because of the protests against ICE, which are daily and ongoing, outside of the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles, they decided to move it here.
So he's being held in the Santa Ana jail. We noticed his jail garb said S-A-J, Santa Ana jail.
Yeah, yes, you saw his jumpsuit, yeah. No, I'm not going to provide any information on that today. When did I first meet him? Several days ago, upon his arrival in the United States.
During all the discovery, if you had to test death on your trial might start.
I'm sorry?
I know you said it's not going to be March 24th.
You know, I don't know. I think other counsel have indicated maybe October, but I can't say. I'm not in a position to tell you that. I mean, sometimes cases go quickly, but one of this magnitude is likely to be set, you know, sometime in the future. Okay.
Do you have any fears of your client's safety while in detention?
No.
Saying that he's a modern day El Chapo or modern day Pablo.
I think it's overstated. That's their spin. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
he was transferred from Mexico to here, does that mean that the death penalty is off the table in this case?
It was an apprehension. And so in order for that to be taken off the table, you would have had to have required an extradition. And that's not how it happened. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Spell your last name, please.
Sure. C-O.
All right, just listening in there to the attorney for former Canadian Olympian snowboarder Ryan Wedding as his plea of not guilty in a court today.